Well, hello, friends, and it's wonderful to be able to greet you as you prepare for annual meeting. And it's annual meeting season, and here we are in the second year of annual meetings in strange and wonderful times. My hope is that you'll be able to gather in person for your annual meetings, but whether you're gathering in person or whether you decide to have your annual meeting online or a mix of online or in person, it's important as we all gather together and celebrate the work that we do in the mission and ministry of Jesus Christ. And I want to greet you, and first of all, as always, thank you for the work that you do on behalf of the mission and ministry that we all have together as followers of Jesus Christ. When we gather for annual meeting, there's all the work and the business that we do. And what I was thinking about today, as I wanted to greet you for your annual meeting, is to draw your attention to a passage of scripture that really kind of rolled around in my heart and mind as we prepare for these days coming up. And it comes from the book of Acts chapter 2. And you remember the story of Pentecost, where it's recorded on the day of Pentecost, all the disciples were gathered together in one place and of one accord. And then the Spirit fell upon them as the sound of a mighty rushing wind. Now, maybe that hasn't been your experience of annual meetings in the past, but I think it's a great aspirational goal to have for followers of Jesus Christ, because the truth of it is that we are drawn together in one place of one accord. We're drawn there because of our love of Jesus, that call together in the unity of his body, the church and the world, and the mission and ministry that's been entrusted to us. And so we always keep that first and foremost of what we're doing. Now, perhaps we don't think of Acts chapter 2 when we think of gathering together to fulfill the requirements of the Not-for-Profit Act of the province of Ontario, which calls for us to have an annual governance meeting. Perhaps it's not there when we're working out the nuts and bolts of the dollars and cents. But when you rise up and you begin to hear the reports that come from the various groups and organizations in your parish, and when you begin to talk about your financial planning, when you talk about that, it has to be in terms of how does that financial planning touch into the things that you want to do, how you plan for the future that lies before us. And I pray that as we move through this annual meeting season, it's only going to be a few more weeks before it's spring. I'm out here today in a beautiful winter day, but it's going to be spring before you know it, and then summer. And I hope this summer is the summer where we say goodbye to the COVID-19 pandemic once and for all. But that's calling us to make plans for the future that is before us. And how is that mission and ministry entrusted to you going to carry on forward? And that's the work that you're called to do. And I hope you have an opportunity as you gather to pray, to reflect, and to plan. Now, perhaps some of you might recall from Synod this last year and the reports of your Synod delegates that one of the things that we did was institute a program of reach and stretch grants. And I'm really excited about that. The reach grants of up to $5,000 and then the stretch grants of up to $20,000 to help you with the ministry that you want to do in your parish. And so I hope that as you gather for your annual vestry this year, perhaps you'll take some time to think about that. What is it that our parish is doing that we want to strengthen? What ministry are we doing? Or what dream do we have that we want to put into action in the communities that we're called to serve? And then make that application that we can access that new ministry fund, that ministry allocation fund we have at the diocese. And that takes money that comes to us from the sale of disused church property, and it just sort of reinvigorates, and sends us out into the future with that. So it's kind of a legacy funding, isn't it? And so as you gather, please be assured that you will be in my prayers, again, for the thanks and appreciation that I have for the ministry that you do and for the future that lies before us. And I look forward to having the opportunity of gathering with you when I do my Episcopal visits, of coming to your parish, hearing about the ministry that you're doing, and then doing what we do so well, gathering to worship, give praise, and give thanks. And so today I give thanks for the work that you're doing. Blessings as you prepare for your annual meeting, and may you move forward in hope and certainty in the future that is in the hands of our loving God, who calls us together and breathes new life into our very being. Blessing.